Hello, everybody. I am back again, Lake Stage Community Advocate and Educator. I'm going to touch on the busted water pipes in City Hall and some things that go on that have been going on for quite some time. And, I get attacked and I always get these crazy messages and I'm a liar and I'm spreading lies and all of these things. And I just kind of want to just go through the odd dynamic or the odd aspects of as to why it took so many calls and why it was ignored and what's going on with the city hall and the flooding. And while, there's many of them who are going to say I'm just spreading lies, I want you to do this. So I hope you come prepared with listening ears, pencil and paper, and you're ready to learn something because this is going to be a little bit different. So obviously you see this. So a pipe burst causes catastrophic damage to Lake Station City Hall. Now, everybody's like, oh, well, it's an accident. It can happen at any given point in time. Now, I want everybody to understand this is a fairly new facility. It's well kept. It's well maintained. And by the way, it's middle of summer. And I want to mention that State Board of Account audit reports are done once every 4 years. Sometimes they're done even more. Oftentimes in schools, it seems like they're done every 2 years. And I noticed that Lake Station hasn't had a audit report done in, well, that's funny enough, 4 years, I believe, is what their last report was. Yeah, like 2022, I believe. Yeah, so but I want to kind of go through and address some things. Now, everybody knows in our community that there's always been these weird accidental or catastrophic accidents always happening within our community when there's an issue with garbage cans, being overcharged for water and sewer services, always something going on with the systems, whether it's a computer update or the computers went down or we're updating or the update went wonky. And as you see here, this is 6 months ago again. And if you go back and check, you can find this stuff. It's always, something went wonky, something went bad. We're updating again. The system's horrible. We got a new system. It's always some excuse in this community when it's time to be held accountable for what's going on within our community for the residents. Now, in this little snippet here, you'll find that there is a fire sprinkler system that burst Saturday, causing catastrophic damage. And it's a funny thing about the fire sprinkler system that burst Saturday, causing catastrophic damage. Now, this is a very peculiar thing, and here's why it's very peculiar. So, the National Fire Protection Association, with fire sprinkler systems and their suppression systems, if something busts or something breaks or there are flow sensors, meaning if there's a sudden flow because of a busted water line, it automatically triggers an alert and a response to the local fire department to find out what's going on. But don't take my word for it. Please feel free to read this bottom part right here, and as you'll see that this is what happens. Now, when this building was put in, it's a very nice system, so I find it very odd and very peculiar that, this water line catastrophically destroyed everything in the mayor's office and everything where the clerk treasurer's offices were except for the police department. I find that very tough to believe, considering there are fail-safes within the sprinkler system itself, and weren't there police there? And if there weren't any there, where were they? Because, we don't normally see them in the community anywhere. But that's something to be asking questions of. So as you see down there at the bottom, feel free to read it. But due to those standards, it triggers a response. It's kind of like when the school systems go off and the fire department shows up. That's the whole point of it. And like I said, when water starts flowing, it indicates that there's something wrong, whether it's a fire or something wrong. But some of the call logs Go back, they were dispatched 5 times, but they were ignored. They were ignored because the emergency fire department and EMS were at the local Pride Festival. So, yeah, there's some weird things going on here because the fire suppression system automatically alerts them, and if it was automatically alerted, it would have never been left to be catastrophic, now would it? So I find it very peculiar that, well, a very sophisticated water system alerted fire department, but funny thing, it caused catastrophic damage. But it flooded throughout nearly the entire building. Now, for this to happen, that's a very large building to flood out. That's quite a bit of water. And because it's a very sophisticated, well, system, it was alerted immediately when there was too much water flow, it alerts. So I would be questioning what's really going on here. But they're going to keep it pretty hush-hush because they don't want nobody knowing what's really going on. And, well, this is pretty much critical thinking. This is really processing what's really happening. This is how these systems works, folks. And like I said, this is only one article where things get wonky and things get dorky, but it's always an update with the system. The computers are bad. We had to get new computers. It's always, oh, the computer system went down, or, oh, we have to take off for a couple of days because we're updating. My question is when is the State Board of Accounts going to come in and do their audit report? Something tells me it was just pretty soon, and I believe that they do them during July and during January, but I'll have to do a little more research on that. Now, while everybody's going to say, well, we just don't have enough, we don't have enough employees, we don't have enough fire department, we don't have enough EMS. Well, let me tell you something. First off, they're called SAFER grants, staffing for adequate fire and emergency response. That's what a SAFER grant is. This is what they do. This specifically, it is to enhance the local fire department's ability to comply with staffing, response, and operational standards. That's weird. So if they don't have enough and they were hanging out at the Pride Fest when the water flow went off, I find it very peculiar that, well, they didn't show up for, 4 or 5 hours? I think even then some. But wasn't there somebody in the police department? So yes, feel free to pause this. This is what they're for. It is you're more than welcome to look this up. This is not me. This is actual facts. So it's not me just spreading lies and gaslighting, as some haters would say. But again, what is community advocacy? Well, it's the act of representing, defending, and promoting the rights and needs of interest of specific community or a group of people. But it raises awareness about the issues, influencing policies, and mobilizing the resources and creating a positive change. I'm finding the things that should be fixed, and I'm being challenged as a whiner, complainer, and I'm a gaslighter. Oh well. But here you go. But these are the things that I want to address in our community because I personally feel that people really need to know about this busted water line. I find it very peculiar. So I'm the Lake Station Community Advocate and Educator. So be the change you want to be the change you want to see for yourself, for your neighbors, and for your community, because you never know what you can achieve alone, with your neighbors, and for your community for now and the long haul. We need to do better. We need to vote better. Be sure that you demand some transparency and accountability and some integrity from your community, administrators, and mayor, because things like this need to be out in the open for the community to know what's happening and to question, because it just seems a little fishy. Till next time, people.